Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining the 2025 NATRC webinar series. Micah Kaza from Top Trail Horse is going to be giving us a talk today about the program website that she is working with NATRC for helping people log their miles. Micah, if you would go now.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on. I am so excited to talk about all the new stuff going on with Top Trail Horse. So it sounds like Top Trail Horse has actually been around for quite a while, since about 2018. Working with NATRC, I think Bill and I figured out around 2021. So first I'm going to give you guys, some people, may not be familiar with it. I know there are a lot of members that are involved already, but who we are, what we do, and also how we work with NATRC. So I'm going to just go through that real quick. So at Top Trail, our goal is to get more equestrians out on trails. As a lot of you may know, trail use is a use it or lose it. So I've talked to a ton of land managers over the years. They all tell me that they took away trailer parking or removed equestrian campsites because no one was using them. And the demand from other trail users and campsite users is growing, so it puts pressure on them to take away equestrian facilities if they aren't being used. So our mission is to get equestrians out on trails, out using camps, out and about, so the land managers see them, see that they're being used, so we don't lose it. I own several companies. A few of them are focused on equestrians, and the way that Top Trail does this is through virtual trail ride challenges. And it's not just about large quantities of miles anymore. We've brought in a lot of things over the past year or two just to encourage more riders to get out there and on the trails. So tons of fun ways, new challenges we've added, and I'll get into a lot of the details, but there's tons of fun ways that people can get involved. We even have awards for trail paparazzi for photos, road warrior for people who ride dirt roads and whatnot, working class for full-time workers. So tons of new things. We also added a youth division, and lots of fun ways to get involved with Top Trail. We also get involved with other organizations to help where our missions align, right? So with NATRC, it's competitive trail riding, but also proper trail riding. On Top Trail is just getting people out. So they paired up really well. So I love this partnership between Top Trail and NATRC for that reason. So I'm going to cover a couple things of what's new, what's going on with Top Trail, what's changed in the past year. Also some new things that we're working on. So first is the website. So this launched in August of 2024. There's a ton of new stuff. I'll just hit the highlights in this presentation just for time's sake. But it's a lot cleaner, a lot simpler, tons of new features packed into it. What's really cool is that a lot of these new features were requests from members. And so we custom built this entire website, and because of it, it's a lot easier now to add new features and functionality to it. So as people have ideas, or they're like, oh, I want to see this data for, I want to see time in saddle, or I want to see moving time, it's really easy for us to add that for members, and really great for you guys because you can ask for customizations. So this here is just a screenshot of the dashboard. There is a stats bar up at the top, so you can quickly, at a quick glance, get all your data, your lifetime miles, at least lifetime with tracking with Top Trail, your annual miles, how many rides, all of that good stuff. There's an activity feed. What's really cool about the activity feed, you can filter it to just your friends, other riders nearby, or you can view all. You can also like and comment on the activities of other riders, cheer your friends on, all of that. And you can even save a trail to ride later. So if you see somebody maybe near you went and rode a new trail you hadn't ridden yet, you can actually save that. And I'll show you that feature in just a little bit. My rides. So section got a total makeover. If you were on that old website, this one is completely redone. We added some charts, graphs, maps, you name it. So you can actually track on a map, especially those of you in NATRC who travel around to all the rides. You can see a map of all your rides. And there on that map, you can even see the orange pins of saved trails so that, if you want to go just click on those and then go find that trail track to go ride it. And of course, a list of your ride activity. Down below, you can see which equine you rode, distance, time, all of that. So just a really cool dashboard there for your ride data. Next is equines. You can add unlimited equines and track stats for each of them, even viewing a ride history for each of your equines. If there are other features that you guys want for equines, just let us know. Again, totally customizable setup here. So really cool. A lot of people asked for data broken down by horse, so we gave that to them. So next is find trails. So this is another big feature we added in. So we actually have, again, I have other equestrian related websites, and one of them is a horse trail directory. And so what we did is we incorporated that master database of horse trails and horse camps. We have about 30,000 horse trails and 3,000 horse camps all mapped out across the US. And we incorporated that into Top Trail Horse. So you guys get access to all of that. So you can search and filter, find trails near you to go riding. There's also the option that you can build your own personal map. And so this is that map I was talking about that you can show rides that you've done, and it can show rides. Maybe you saw rides from somebody else that you want to save for later. You can see those pinned on your map. And all you got to do for each of those ride activity in the feed, there's a little bookmark icon. If you just click on that, it'll add it to your map. So really cool feature there that you guys can build out your own personalized trail maps there. So, and then of course, if you guys do have more requests, we're building out a ton of extra things around ride calendars and all of that too. So just let us know if you guys do have additional requests for the trail maps feature. One of the biggest new additions, everybody was excited about this one, are mobile apps. So the mobile apps have been in development for about a year now. We just launched them several weeks ago. We do still, just keep in mind, they're very new. So we're still testing. A lot of our members have, volunteered themselves, sacrificed themselves to test our mobile apps. So available both on Apple and Android. You can just look it up, Top Trail Horse. Very new, but allows you to track your rides directly within the Top Trail app. And as soon as you save it, it's saved to your account. And so prior, if any of you were participating in Top Trail before, you know the drill of you had to use a different app, track it, download your GPX, go to the Top Trail website, upload it, right? So it added a ton of steps to that. So we're trying to make everything easier, better for you guys. And so we built these mobile apps. Again, we are still testing them. It'll probably be a couple months before we consider them, truly stable. But we do recommend, if you're going to use them, run a second app just in case, in case, 90% of the time, 95% of the time they work great. Every now and then there's a glitch in the tracking. So we recommend right now to run two trackers just in case. But if it works, fantastic. Like I said, 95% of the time they're great. You just hit save and you're done. If for whatever reason it fails, if you're running that second tracker, you can use that as a backup. So, as more riders use the app, we're actually able to fix everything. We've been rolling out app updates every week. Usually we push them out to Apple and Google Play Store every Monday. In fact, an update just rolled out this morning. It takes a day or two to hit the App Store. So usually by Wednesday, Thursday every week, there's a new update. So you can always update your app every week and get the latest version. So as soon as people report an issue, we get that into production to get it fixed. So usually the next week the fix rolls out. So yeah, so we're still in testing, but if you guys want to help with app testing, you can go download it and try it out. Any issues, you can always report that. We're taking all reports via email, so members@toptrail.com if you guys want to try it. And usually if you have an issue, just screenshot it and send it over, and we get it fixed pretty quickly. So, but yeah, really cool. Love it. Once this is all stable and working great, I know a lot of the members are really going to enjoy that. So let's get into NATRC. So how Top Trail is involved with NATRC. So we actually host we partner with NATRC and we host their virtual trail ride challenge. This is where you guys can track your rides and miles. And especially like trainee rides, it's a great way to count all of your trainee rides and miles in between official NATRC events, and post them up. And then, of course, through the Top Trail program, you guys also win awards and prizes just by participating. So the NATRC virtual ride challenge. So it's $25 a year to join the NATRC group specifically. And that counts as your ride fee. And that goes directly back to NATRC. So while you'll pay through the Top Trail website, it'll go back to NATRC. So, but yeah, so that runs every January to December. I'll get into how to sign up. I know the sign up changed a bit and threw a couple people off. So I'll explain that in a little bit. But yeah, if you guys want to participate in the virtual trail ride challenge, you can sign up for Top Trail Horse. And then once you're in, you can sign up for NATRC. So if you've never participated in Top Trail before, you can just go to the website there, toptrailhorse.com, and add and then sign up for that and click the join now. Once you click join now, just follow the steps to fill in your profile, add your equines. Especially if you have multiple, you can track miles for each of them. Once you are on Top Trail, then you can add the NATRC virtual ride challenge. So this is what changed a little bit was you have to sign up for Top Trail first, and then you go add the NATRC group. And how you do that is if you're a member of Top Trail or once you do sign up, you can just go to the top, click on your name to view all of your profile settings, click on My Groups, and that'll take you to the affiliate groups where there you can see it circled there for NATRC. You can click on the checkbox for NATRC and hit the button for Join Group. It will then walk you through that process to join the NATRC group and add that $25 purchase. So the confusion was around expiration dates between Top Trail and NATRC. So Top Trail memberships are the $35 a year, and it's good for the whole year from whatever date you purchase from. So for example, if you joined today, March 25th, it would expire next year, 2026, on March 24th, right? So you got that full year. For NATRC, this is a January to December challenge. So what it is when you join that group and pay that $25, it expires on December 31st. And so what we did was separate the memberships. We used to have a combined like $60 membership, but the expiration dates were different. So we had to separate those. So that's the little difference that some of you that have been involved with it for a few years, you guys saw this year, was applied just to separate those purchases and expiration dates. So each year, if you want to participate with NATRC, you can just rejoin the NATRC group and pay that ride fee, that $25. So hopefully that all makes sense to you guys. I know a lot of you figured it out. So just a little bit of a new process there. So once you're signed up, now what, right? So start riding and tracking. You guys can use any tracking app of your choice as long as it can export GPX files. So you can use, if you're willing, you can also use the Top Trail app. Again, just keep in mind it's still in testing phase, but you can use the Top Trail app to track your rides, or you can use any other tracking app that exports GPX files. So if you use another app or a different tracker, you're going to have to export that GPX file of your ride track and then upload it to Top Trail. So you can upload that. That's the two screenshots are different ways to add rides on the website. On the left is you just hit that add ride button, fill in your ride information, attach your GPX file, and then hit that upload ride. I also recommend you guys fill out those extra fields there. A lot of them are optional, but what happens is if you fill in those extra fields, they actually qualify you for other Top Trail challenges. And you guys can actually win extra prizes and recognitions by filling those out. They'll add you to the different leaderboards that they're for. So really cool there that you can participate both in the NATRC leaderboard and then also all of the other leaderboards. So if you do track your app or track your ride in the Top Trail app, once you're done tracking, you just hit finish and save it, and that's all you got to do. So no downloading, uploading, transferring files, anything like that. Legacy accounts, some of you guys still use Easy Trails. We do still have a connection through Easy Trails, so you should be able to still use that, track your ride through Easy Trails, and then upload straight from Easy Trails to Top Trail. One of the things we get asked about a lot is editing rides. So what if you need to edit your ride? Okay. So it depends what you're trying to edit. If you used Easy Trails to upload your ride, you'll want to then go into Top Trail later and edit that ride to add your equine and add any other ride details, since Easy Trails doesn't allow you to do that in their app. If you tracked it in Top Trail app, of course, when you filled out that little form, it'll capture all that information there. So just be aware, sometimes you might need to go back into Top Trail and assign it to the correct horse or change that any trail information. Sometimes people will have tracking glitches or maybe forgot to turn off their ride tracking, and they drove home, right? That'll actually, if you upload that trail, it'll actually get disqualified. So there's automated auditing that happens in the background, and then we also have human auditors that go through the rides to ensure everything is in compliance, that it's actually a trail ride and all of that. So just be aware. You can edit your ride track before you upload it. So I do recommend, like maybe you drove home and forgot to turn off your tracking. There's a ton of online tools. I use one called gpx.studio. It's free. You can upload your GPX file. If you drove home, you can select all those dots on the map and delete them to delete that drive home. So just be aware you can edit it. If you did upload your GPX before realizing there were driving miles on it, just be aware you're going to have to delete that ride before you can upload the edited track. So we have a check in place that checks for duplicate trail rides, and it'll check time date stamps to see if it's a duplicate trail ride. So just be aware. A lot of people will edit the track and then try to upload it and can't. So just make sure you delete the incorrect one and then upload the correct one there. So just be aware of that. So now the part that everybody actually cares about is the leaderboards, right? So for NATRC, there are multiple leaderboards. There's national leaderboards, which include National Rider, National Horse and Rider, which is also why it's important to assign horses to your rides so that your horse, your equine, gets credit. There's also regional leaderboards. So regional for the multiple regions, each rider for each region, and then of course, horse and rider for each region. Really cool on the NATRC leaderboard. You can also then view just NATRC group member activities and rides. You can also filter by date to see, what if you wanted to check how you did in February versus everybody else, right? So you can even filter that date range, or filter it to the different leaderboards. It's really cool there. You can customize that view. But that about covers it for this presentation and how Top Trail works with NATRC and some of the new features and functionality for Top Trail. And then, of course, we have a ton of new features coming out later this year. But yeah, those are the highlights. I'm going to go ahead and open it up to questions if anybody has any.
We have a couple questions. The first one I'll be able to answer is from Robin Campbell. Will this webinar be available to share with our NATRC Ride Facebook groups? I would. It usually takes me about a week after these talks to process the recorded video and clip out extraneous parts and get it posted to YouTube and such. But we'll have a link to it on the national website under events and webinars. And so you'll always be able to share that link to Facebook or your Facebook groups. It's all public access, so that's good. We have a second question from a Zoom user. The person's name isn't specified. Can I upload a ride from a different app like Equilab Ride Tracker?
Yeah, so that all comes down to, and I believe Equilab does, if it allows you to export a GPX file. A lot of the tracking apps do. So yes, so typically you can. And I believe we have several members who use Equilab. So yes.
Yeah, I'll expand on that a little bit too. I usually use actually a Garmin GPS, and there are ways to download the GPX file to your computer. And then once you have the GPX file on your computer, no matter how you recorded it, then you can upload it to Top Trail.
Yeah.
I had a side question. It used to be that you had 3 days after a ride, or then a week after a ride to actually post your ride. Is there still a time limit on how late after an event, after a ride, you can post the trail? And what is
Yes.
that now?
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, it used to be 3 days. And what we found is people would go camping with their horses or go to a ride event and then not get home for several days. And so what we did is we expanded that to 10 days. And so it's 10 days. You have 10 days from the day you rode to upload your GPX file. And what that does is because we do run real-time leaderboards, and also at some point we have to do auditing, right? So we just need to have a deadline for people to get their rides all uploaded. So we felt 10 days was fair. So it gave people time in case they were traveling for the week. They could get home, upload all of their rides into the system, and then, of course, then it also gave on the back end all of us on the Top Trail team time to audit those. So yeah.
All right. I'm not seeing any other questions, but I'll give people a few minutes to add questions. I do want to say that your website and the app have come miles since what I last saw. I'm really impressed. I just logged on to the website to kind of play with it a little bit, but you have made great progress on this. I'm very impressed.
Awesome. Thanks. Yeah, we invested about $200,000 into this website and mobile app over just the last year. That's how intensive what's funny is that nobody on the front end will ever see it. It was all back end database, ensuring speed, accuracy, all of that. I don't know if there's people here from old days when the website used to crash like every week. We upgraded servers, performance, everything to ensure stability, security, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, we put a ton of investment into this over the past year.
It shows.
Thanks.
We do have another question from Lena Scaramuzzo. I really like what you're doing here. Are you partnering with any other organizations like AQHA? Second question, are you able to share aggregate data to public agencies or land managers to help ensure trails are kept open?
Yes, fantastic question. So, yes, we are in talks with several other organizations, but what I always recommend, I've reached out to probably 50 organizations. I had about five of them respond back to me. It's free for any organization to partner with us. We'll give them a free account. We set up all their leaderboards, everything. And all their members have to do is join that group and can participate in all of that. So it gives other organizations a free place to run virtual trail ride challenges. So yes, I'm in talks with several breed organizations. And then also state horse councils. There's several that are, I think Pennsylvania, Minnesota are a couple that we're in talks with to get programs going. But yeah, if you guys are members of or on boards of organizations, totally free for you guys to get involved and join. You guys can reach out to me. Um, on Facebook, we're all over Facebook, anywhere, just reach out and we can get you guys set up and going. And it only takes a couple days. So, the other question, what was the other question?
I can't talk. The second question is, are you able to share aggregate data to public agencies or land managers to help ensure trails are kept open?
Oh, yeah. So this was actually the mission of one of my other websites. I own another horse trail called tophorsetrails.com. And that's where we were working with land managers on data. In fact, we were in talks with several states about data. Our our tech wasn't quite there yet, but with our mobile app now launching, I feel like our program's going to grow and expand, and we'll get a lot more data of things, and we can also custom build in features like if you go riding on a trail and a tree is down, can you report it through the Top Trail app? So those are all extra features that we're looking into building out. And at that point, like partnering with backcountry horsemen and these other land management groups, government, nonprofits, all of those. Yes, I would love to get involved with them. And that's definitely in our long-term plan.
All right. Um, the next question is from Dana Morgan. It looks like she's already a Top Trail user.
Yep.
She's asking a tech support question. I have several miles. I have several rides beyond the 10 days as I didn't know the time limit due to being a newbie. I'm assuming the question is then, is it possible for her to um, get a mulligan on getting some things posted?
For data, maybe.
Okay.
So here's what happens is that the system automatically detects that they're beyond the 10 days and disqualifies them automatically. So in individual circumstances, like if somebody reaches out, I always recommend emailing us, members at toptrail.com. So Dana, just reach out, members at toptrail.com. And we do have, as admins of the website, we do have ways to override that in case there were like extenuating circumstances and things like that. We can override the system. So if you guys also want new features and functionality added, again, reach out. I have a whole development team and we can add features and functionality and customize things. In fact, the time and saddle was a special request that one of our members had. She wanted to see how much time she was riding. So we added that for her. So if you guys do have extra data points, if we're able to extract it from GPX files, we can definitely add that to the reports.
Okay. I'm not seeing any additional questions. Micah, I want to thank you for taking the time to tell us about Top Trail tonight. Also, as I said, it looks like you've done a wonderful job on upgrading this. I've used it in the past. It's a very nice feature. It's nice how you're reaching out to other organizations. I see Missouri Foxtrotters are on here, and the
Hmm.
Minnesota and Michigan Horse Councils, among others. But thank you again. Appreciate your taking time to talk with us. Everybody have a good night. Um, the webinar series, NATRC webinar series, is going to continue this year. We're still trying to track down speakers. Um, If you know a speaker who would like to talk with us, please contact us and we'll figure out how to make it happen. Otherwise, everybody have a good night and thank you.